by a vehicle. We got the kid in the back.
3 mill runs, and you know, they're a couple of 100 kilometres each.
And then they drove sheep all the way from South Australia to here to establish the property.
That's probably a no, it would be a stream. So there'd be a very little stream coming, and they would have divined, walked around with their fork sticks, found the stream, and then dug the well right on the stream.
Wants to take a video.
I am taking a video.
To the ground.
Well, now, yeah. Yeah, so that's the water table under the ground.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait, can we see it?
I don't know whether you can see down there. Probably.
Oh yeah, there's a bit. Yes, look at that.
Brown box up there.
Oh yeah.
Ah,
That's it. You can see the colour here. There's a little solar panel on the top of it. That's pointing the way the wind blows, and that tail follows the wind, all right? So that's pulled off. So the round part, which is what we'll call the fan, right, is not catching any wind. So the wind is blowing that way. So the round part that catches wind has got to be on. Now you see that's on. Well, let go of the bucket, it's going to turn itself off again. So the wind, when the fan's at right angles to the wind, is when the fan's catching the wind. Right? So when the tank fills up, there's a float inside the tank on that end of the bar. When the tank fills up, it turns the window off. As the cattle drink and the water level in the tank goes down, that'll float down and turn the windmill on.
Oh, that's quite clever.
And you see now the windmill's facing, the head's facing into the wind, there's not much wind. But because the head's facing into the wind now, it's trying to turn.
That's amazing.
Because when I walked up, I thought, yeah.
Whole design is good.
Can you see it? A red cow out that direction.
Look to your left there.
Oh my God, there is two. There's more. Hello, darling.
don't often actually see the cattle on the station.
Not when it's
rained.
In the middle of summer, you come here and you always see them.
There'll be 80 or 100 cows all in the trees around the
Oh,
place.
yeah, there's a little one.
I should want some hay.
Little one's running over now to catch up. Hi, Moo.
Come and say hello to us so we can see if you're earmarked or not.
Watch, I'll turn and run now.
She's not convinced.
No, I can see you, and I know you're full of shit. Whatever you said, we're not believing you. So they've quietened down a lot, and with all our young cattle, Deb works them with the horses, and she has friends come up and actually do what we call tailing out. So the young heifers, which are sort of up to 12 months old, get 2 weeks of intensive therapy, and they learn how to go through yards and in and out of yards, and to be respectful of horses and humans, and after 2 weeks they're almost quite enough to pat.
Yeah, it's very similar to what I give my horse.
And that's phosphorus and urea, and amongst other things.
So it really is fertiliser.
And the urea actually activates the rumen bugs to make them break down. So when there's green feed, they won't even look at this, but when the feed goes dry, they start eating this, and that actually assists their rumen to digest the more fibrous material, which is the dry feed, so they actually get a lot more benefit out of the feed. The main mineral deficiency in this part of the world is phosphorus deficient. The actual natural soil and the vegetation is pretty high in all sorts of things, but deficient in phosphorus. So in summer, a 20 kilo bag of that will probably last about 4 or 5 days. So dog trap is going to be right in front there somewhere. So your dog trap's probably in this area here, and that's the whole idea, is camouflaging it so that
they'll go up and sniff at the dog poo.
Dogs can't help it. They've got to sniff up the dog's bums or dog poo. So if they've got, someone stranger's taking a poo here, so they'll come over and sniff it. And the whole setting of a dog trap is to put it somewhere where you'd say the dog will be come in, stick his nose in there, and there'll be a foothold trap right there, I reckon. And you would never ever notice, would never ever see that. I would never find it, other than the fact that the dog has walked over here and then walked back again, and that makes me think, well, why would he have done? He's pulled up there, he got out.
So we now have evidence that there's a dog trap here because
Well, you've got to be trained and
have a chain.
you don't just become a private lake, really.
Exactly.
Not many people know that this is here.
Have you given it an name?
We just call it Windermere Lake.
Oh, Windermere Lake, of course.
We put a tarp over that, and that's our little ski beach. So when we're skiing, we come back and the water's like literally when it's full.
Ride around the lake, and then you can ride up over. I went up the top of that hill. Those ones are a bit rocky, so I chose that one. And but then you can even ride beyond the hill, so you could have this as one place, and then ride beyond the hills and do a big circle or something like that.
Beautiful.
But it's
It's almost disappeared.
Curly windmill grass.
Curly windmill grass, and see the
Like the dark green.
yeah, that big leaf, this one here.
Yeah.
Like cooch grass, you had the run up with like a windmill head on top. Except that windmill head's about on the curly windmill grass. It's a really big head. You see that?
Oh,
Those leaves die off on the points, and they do the curl, and then they've got the big windmill head, which is the wrong time of the year, so you probably won't see it. See?
right.
So you got the curly in the little dead leaf, like that one there, and that's the windmill.
Wow.
Finest little tiny, and they get in your finger, and you cannot find them. You can't see them to get them out. They're like
Flannel
invisible.
bush.
But horses and cattle munch into it. That's good feed. That one behind you, that's called cotton bush, because they're like the cotton bolls. They're only just starting to form. They end up with almost like a cotton bowl, the flowers on them. Better looking.
Oh yeah.
But they're really good. It's different with a cotton bush.
That is very pretty.
Sometimes we had some soil people here a little while ago, and one lady was taking samples of all the different mosses and things like that growing, because a lot of them haven't even been named yet.
That's the stuff that
This is the
we
stuff
want to
we're
get
looking for.
established, because that's, we just seeded it out, and there's quite a little patch of it starting to get
Maybe. Did you cover the tree? No, we just chopped them out.
Cool.
That's excellent.
This is a creek bed. That's where we're looking for new grass that they've planted.
doesn't look like anything grows up, runs up to a curly windmill grass.